Hi, my name is Jessica Kennedy. This is week 6 discussion board centering on the fundamentalist versus the modernist views. Today I'd like to talk about John Grisham Machen and his contributions to this discussion. Thank you. John Grisham Machen was an American Presbyterian theologian in the early 20th century. Machen was born in Baltimore, Maryland, and attended the Franklin Street Presbyterian Church. As a privileged youth, he attended private college and received classical education. At 17, he graduated from Johns Hopkins University and went on to study theology at Princeton Seminary by 1902, and also gaining a Master of Arts in Philosophy at Princeton University. Machen went on to become the professor of New Testament at Princeton Seminary and served there from 1906 to 1929, and led a conservative revolt against modernist theology at Princeton and formed the Westminster Theological Seminary as a more orthodox alternative. As the new Presbyterian Church continued to reject conservative attempts to enforce faithfulness to the Westminster Confession, Machen led a small group of conservatives out of the church to form the Orthodox Presbyterian Church. He continued opposition to the 1930s to liberalism, and his denomination's foreign missions agencies led to the creation of a new organization, the Independent Board for Presbyterian Foreign Missions. The trial, conviction, and suspension from the ministry of independent board members, including Machen in 1935 and 36, provided the rationale for the formation in 1936 of the Orthodox Presbyterian Church. The Origin of Paul's Religion in 1921 is perhaps Machen's best-known scholarly work. The book was a successful attempt at critiquing the modernist belief that Paul's religion was based mainly upon Greek philosophy and was entirely different from religion of Jesus. Christianity and Liberalism in 1923 is another Machen's book that critiques theology, the theological modernism. In What is Faith, 1925, he set before him the pastoral task of anchoring faith in the historical fact of Christ's atonement. Despite his conservative theological beliefs, Machen was never able to fully embrace popularized fundamentalism either. Mark A. Knoll quoted in his 1988 book, The New Dictionary of Theology, section about Machen, said, where he quoted, "I never called myself a fundamentalist. There is indeed no inherent objection to the term, and if the disjunction is between fundamentalism and modernism, then I am willing to call myself a fundamentalist of the most pronounced type. But after all, what I prefer to call myself is not a fundamentalist, but a Calvinist, that is, an adherent of the Reformed faith." His refusal to accept pre-minimalism and other aspects of fundamentalist belief was based upon his belief that Reformed theology was the most biblical form of Christian belief, a theology that was generally missing from fundamentalism at the time. Moreover, Machen's scholarly work on the ability to engage with modernist theology was at odds with fundamentalism's anti-intellectual attitude. Machen is considered to be the last of the great Princeton theologians who had, since the formation of the college in the early 19th century, developed Princeton theology, a conservative and Calvinist form of evangelical Christianity. Although Machen can be compared to the great Princeton theologians like Alexander Hodge and Warfield, he was never a lecturer in theology, nor did he ever become the seminary's principal. Machen's influence can still be felt today through the existence of the institutions that he founded: Westminster Theological Seminary, the Independent Board for Presbyterian Foreign Missions, and the Orthodox Presbyterian Church. In addition, his textbook on basic New Testament Greek is still used today in many seminaries. Historian George Martison has described Machen as a radically libertarian, as opposing to the normal fundamentalist support. He opposed almost any extension of state power and took stand on a variety of issues. He violated the usual categories of liberal or conservative, and he opposed the establishment of a federal Department of Education, suggesting before a joint congressional committee that government control of the children was the ultimate sacrifice of freedom. He was against prohibition, and this was a costly stance in an age when abstinence was almost the creed among Protestants. He was opposed to foreign policy, imperialism, and militarism. Machen was hospitalized and died on January the 1st, 1937. Thank you.